pictures.
I'm studying to be a chef, and I really want to travel the world.
I'm going to be a mechanic, and I can focus on my career.
Right now, in the United States, there are more than 100,000 children in foster care, just like Brianna and Tay, who need a family now. Learn how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon and
Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You know what it is, Truth Nation. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
The best way to start your day. Cutting through the noise and bringing you the real stories behind the headlines.
Talk to someone about how you feel. Do not internalize it. Do not consume it. You deserve to be heard.
It's time to wake up with Milwaukee's favorite morning show.
It's not just we canceled it, it's over, it's a done deal. Shouldn't be that way. That program still should proceed no matter how a few may go against it.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee.
Telly, where all the watch party? Where the brothers gonna be? I just want to see what she was gonna do.
This is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Here are your hosts, the effective communication coach Denise Thomas and two-time Emmy Award winner Telly Hughes.
Good. Great morning. What's going on, Truth Nation? You are tuned in to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio inside the heart of downtown Milwaukee. We are coming to you from the Avenue. Telly, good morning, my brother. How you doing?
Good morning, DT. How are you this morning?
Black.
No.
I'm trying to understand, does my life in this country matter now that I'm back from Toronto?
Oh,
because when I came back, go ahead, brother.
No, I was going to say, I thought you were looking at me and talking about black.
Oh, you still crispy from Dallas. That's right. Let me tell you something right now about that Dallas tan. You're going to be blickety black for about, I'd say a good 8 more days. That sun ain't no joke.
Okay, gotcha.
But
so,
yeah.
But go
Ben,
ahead. Yes.
Go on, give it to us, Ben. How you doing, brother?
It's amazing.
I love it. Y'all, we have so much to talk about this morning. It's Tuesday, which is the least favorite day of my week. When I came back to the States, I was in Toronto for my uncle's 70th birthday, and I was going to talk about that, but let me just give him a shout out, because I said I would give him a shout out. Uncle Cleveland, happy 70th birthday.
Come on, Denise, we got plenty of time to get to the other stuff. I want to know how this party went down. You told us it was lit for a 70th birthday party, so just give us a few details. We'll get to the stuff we're going to get to.
So it was amazing. I'm going to use Ben's. It was amazing. And what I really loved about it is that my mother, who was the oldest of 7 children, all of the children except one, so my Uncle Derek, he resides in Georgetown, Guyana in South America. He was not able to attend. However, all the kids were there, all the grandkids, the great-grandkids.
Nice.
But hold on, let me talk about my uncle's attire, then we can move on.
Uh-oh, he was pimped out.
Look, hold on, I'm going to show you the picture, and I just want to get your reaction. I know Truth Nation can't see the picture, but he just texted me too, y'all.
Oh,
he probably listened.
He say, "All right, now you better not talk about that one part of the part."
No, let me tell you, that's the thing I love about elders. They don't care what young people say about them.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you remember in the 70s when y'all men, or like maybe probably your uncle or your dad or your great granddad would wear the suit with the butterfly collar and have the taco meat hanging out with the gold chain?
Absolutely.
That's what my uncle wore. I was like, I know that's right, Uncle Cleveland.
Keep it real. Like,
he's still texting me. I don't even want to open it up because I know he's going to probably say. And, you know, so here's the only part that got a little controversial for me, but I didn't say anything because everybody was vibing. So the DJ, oh my God, Telly, you would have lost because he was playing all the truth-telling hits that you don't know. I was like,
you said I would have been.
Telly was here. Oh my gosh,
lost.
it was hilarious. So then, of course, the DJ drops some Robert Kelly, and I was like, "See, now my vibe is all gone."
Oh, did everybody start two-stepping though?
Man, I'm like, did y'all not get the memo here in Canada? Do y'all not know about what this man
That don't
did?
apply in the 6, baby. He's like, look, he had them problems over there. He ain't do nothing over here that we know of.
But so speaking of in the 6, so Telly, you know how my kids always like say, "Mom, stop, because you're not cool."
Mm-hmm.
Telly, I messed up again. Ben, I messed up, y'all.
Uh-oh.
So a good friend of mine who he's from Milwaukee, good friend of mine, he called me, and because he's a good mentor to Darren. Shout out to B-Dub if he's listening. Shout out to my brother from another mother, B-Dub, Brandon Williams. And so I said, well, hey, Darren's right next to me. I'll put y'all on speaker. So they talking or whatever. And Darren was like, yeah, man, you know, we in the 6. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, man, shout out to T-Dot. Darren looked at me.
He's like,
that's exactly what he did, Telly. He was like, look at my face. He was like this.
Like, see?
I said, what? He said, Mom, no one says T-Dot anymore. And I was like, what is in the 6? And he said, and I'm just giving you the abbreviated version. So please, Ben, please, Telly, educate me. I'm serious.
Okay.
They said that it started from Drake. What does that mean in the 6? See, I was raised in Toronto because I spent a lot of summers as a child. I ain't never heard no in the 6. What is that?
Is it the start of the area code maybe, or is that what it is? No. I'm asking Ben.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I thought. I thought it was the area code.
I thought it was. I thought it was like the 6, or as opposed to say 60 or 608 or whatever the case was. I thought they just broke it down.
What's the affiliation with Drake then? Because they said it came from Drake. So did he create?
He's from Toronto.
6? Now you know I know that. Stop.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where he just. I don't know if it was just. You know, it was his clique, or they called themselves the 6, or it was area code. I don't know, but to me, I've only understood it as it was a Canadian thing, and it was like an area code or something. I'm sure I'm all the way off, but
no, you're doing much better than me. Because again, when I said, "Yeah, man, we in the dot, we T-Dot," they was. It was like, get out.
Yes. Now, speaking of that, at the party, now in Milwaukee, there is an unhealthy, what is it? The quality of air, unhealthy air quality advisory. There it is. I'll get it out. Southeastern Wisconsin is under unhealthy air quality advisory. And it says it stems from the Canada wildfires. So with Denise just coming from Canada, my question to her was, are they even talking about that in Canada? And your response was?
Absolutely not. And you know what they are talking about? And I had to share this with you, Telly and Ben. I was like, y'all got to be kidding me. So they are currently, actually it was yesterday, they had their election for the mayor of Toronto. So the race was yesterday in terms of, so I haven't even checked who won. But I just want to ask y'all, Truth Nation, Telly, Ben, how many people do you think were running for mayor yesterday for the city of Toronto, the mayor of Toronto? How many people? How many candidates do you think ran?
You said I was off when we were off air. I said 50, so I'm going to increase it to 75 candidates.
Still low.
Ben?
Keep going.
See, I was gonna say one. I was gonna say one, but I don't know. 100?
102.
102 candidates.
102. When I heard that, I was like, so can you imagine the poll that like the y'all, we ain't right.
They don't have any television shows. Everything is a political ad.
I was like, where do I even begin? Wait a minute, but seriously, what kind of debates do y'all have?
Look, you may have your mailman deliver your mail and be like, "Hey man, you running for mayor?" Like, yeah, actually I am. I am. I got the info. I got the 411. You want to holler at me? That is amazing, Denise. So I'm hoping one of those was the incumbent or the current mayor.
No. So it gets a little juicy.
Uh-oh.
So what do you call it? I can't even. I'm still waking up. Y'all help me. What do you call it? You just said it.
Incumbent.
Incumbent.
Thank you.
Incumbent. Yes.
He had to resign for having an extramarital affair with his staffer. One of his staffers.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So y'all be thinking Toronto's all conservative and clean. No, they got
there it is.
Going on there. See, I was going to say in the T-dot.
No, that's erased.
Speaking of mayors and elections, what's going on here with our common council in Milwaukee?
Man, oh man, it's not a done deal. We thought it was going to be a done deal, and the new.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I got to say this really quick.
Okay.
Toronto elects first Chinese Canadian as mayor.
Oh,
Olivia
wow.
Chow. It says the headline says Olivia Chow wins crowded race for mayor of Toronto.
Wow.
So they have now elected their first Chinese Canadian as mayor. That's awesome.
Well, now you have to ask the question: how does she outlast the other 101 candidates? What did she do to stand out?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to read, and while you brief us on, I'm going to find out and let y'all know, because I have never, ever in my life heard of, and it was historic.
Yes.
This was the first time they've had 102 candidates. But Olivia Chow, 66 years old, said that she's going to work to build a city that is more caring, more affordable, and more safe.
Wow. Wow. And while
Maybe that's what took her there.
Yes, and while you do more research on that, like you said, the Milwaukee Common Council Committee backs the 2% sales tax increase, but they are going to address the pension crisis, meaning that this is not a done deal, but the Milwaukee Common Council Committee backed a proposed 2% sales tax increase yesterday. The first major step in setting the stage for a full Common Council vote as early as July 11th. And right now, they're not sure. Mayor Johnson does have some concerns that they're not getting the full support. But once again, they do have until, well, the earliest they can vote on this is July 11th. And the Common Council president, Jose Perez, says, I'm hearing support of the sales tax. But later on in this article, Perez said the full Common Council approval would be needed by the end of July to ensure the city begins collecting the additional revenue at the start of the year. So once again, there still are some concerns, and hopefully when some of these other issues about this tax is addressed, maybe they can increase some other things, like only 25 school resource officers within the Milwaukee Public Schools. Last time I checked, there's like 25 schools in 2 blocks in Milwaukee. So I think that's an extremely low number. But hopefully those things, some of those other things can be addressed along with the pension crisis.
Okay, so again, Truth Nation, see, Telly, he's the responsible one out of us. I'm just going to go there, okay? He's not going to go there, but I'm going to go there. To all my shoppers, this is detrimental for us, especially those, you know, there's a significant number of us, Truth Nation, and our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. How many of y'all keep it real? This is Truth Be Told, y'all. How many of y'all keep it real? When y'all first heard about the sales tax increase, we're like, how am I going to shop now? Because for many of us, we will go to Chicago and we will shop till we drop. We will have that stuff shipped, because when you have it shipped back here home, you get that 5.6.
Yes.
We will go to New York. Do you hear me, Telly?
Yeah. Yes, I hear you.
We will go online and are proud to type in that 532 whatever.
Yep.
Because we know we're getting 5.6. Now, for my retail shoppers, do you realize that now we are going from, and Telly, you were saying offline, you know, you, as a good husband does, you bought your wife a nice bag. You had it shipped back to Milwaukee because you knew you was going to get that 5.6.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, just to put in perspective. This is so selfish. Like, we're not talking about like pension. I'm over here talking about the impact on my shopping. But I'm telling you, Truth Nation, I know some of y'all are with me.
Not your food going up or none of that, huh?
That. Anybody come to see you, Otis? We talking about the real most important thing. This is changing a lot of women's and shoppers' lives. Look, they're coming in already on the Truth Talk text line. Y'all, this is what you need to be saying to your Common Council representative. You be like, look, when I shop, I'll give you even better example. When I go to Vegas and I shop, you know, they'll be like, okay, your total is blah. I'm like, no. Give me that Wisconsin tax. I'm getting it shit. And I'm telling you, the price goes down anywhere, depending on what I'm purchasing, the price will go down between like $100 and $200.
Yeah.
This is devastating for a lot of women and men who shop, who are big on fashion. Do you know how big this is? And I'm just surprised that nobody else has brought this up.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, that's why we here, right, Denise? To bring it up.
To bring it up.
To bring it up.
Y'all think, you know, Charlie was like, yes, and the pension. I'm like, man, bump that. Let's talk about shopping.
I'm setting the stage. That's all I was doing. I'm just setting the stage on what y'all hearing versus what's really going on.
But let me tell y'all about Telly, y'all. He's like, I buy my wife nice bags. That's good. But I guarantee y'all, if that golf game was impacted,
oh yeah,
Telly would have did a Truth Talks.
Raise HE double hockey sticks. Let me tell you. Go up on my green fees.
Something else.
And yes, and hit us up on the talking text line, Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. Blake says, I have 2 jobs where I work very smart and not harder, and the pay is excellent. You got to pay what you weigh. Everything goes up. Look how long people been paying for exclusive cars, and they're not even worth the value. Life is too short. Spin it. Well, that's what you're going to do once this text goes through.
Wait a minute, Blake. You said you got 2 jobs? Okay, my number is 414. No, man. That's what I'm talking about. My man got 2 jobs.
And no time for nothing else. He ain't got no time to spend it, but he make it.
You almost made me spit my coffee out. Oh my God, I'm weak. Yeah, Blake, holla at DT. I like a man with 2, not 1, but 2 jobs. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she sure do.
You can't get on my nerves if you always at work. That's the kind of man I need. Matter of fact, can anybody one up Blake? Shouts to all the brothers that got 3 jobs. Holla at your girl. I want a man who work all the time. I don't have to deal.
Shouts out to the guys with 3 jobs that never get a chance to sleep.
Hey. What's that saying? You can sleep when you're dead? No.
Listen, hey, Blake came back with it. He said, I do nursing and I'm a teacher. And my wife is working with me at the other job, but I used to sell things that were illegal, so I'm used to being spoiled.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Me either.
There's so many things I could say. And he has his own painting company. Blake, are you – no, let me stop because I forget now you can't be a comedian. People get hypersensitive but I was going to ask, was he from Jamaica? But, I don't want to make the Jamaicans mad. Nowadays, you can't say nothing without some, that wasn't right. That was so insensitive. So let me just stop. Anywho, now, Telly, yesterday, we were talking about, and this is your area of expertise, but we want to hear from you. Chris Middleton. Now, again, I'm not an athlete, but all I know, y'all help me out. If somebody offers me $40.4 million, more than likely
you gonna accept, huh?
Because Blake,
you got Ben dying laughing.
Blake got 3 jobs, but he got a wife, so I gotta want to worry about Chris. Chris, what are we on this morning? Chris Middleton declines his $40.4 million player option and becomes a free agent. Telly, teach us a wise one.
Okay.
What's going on in Chris Middleton's world?
So why is this a smart move? Because you're Chris Middleton, you're 32 years old. You don't have too many more contracts that you're going to get. So you need to get the bags whenever you can get it. Yes, $40 million sounds great. But what happens after next year? You don't know who may sign you. So you're going for security. You're playing the long game. I'm 32 years old. I'm not going to get another 5-year contract or 6-year contract. But besides just getting this 1 year, $40.4 million, how about you break me off with 3 more years and 110?
Okay. Okay, so here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Middleton, 2 seasons ago, was one of the highest paid. If next
He signed a max deal. Yes,
Okay,
he signed a max deal. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We did not win a world championship last year or the year before. Am I correct? Just help me if I'm off. Okay.
You still good?
So Chris Middleton seems to be navigating through some injuries as well.
Correct.
Why again is he turning down? I'm just trying to correlate
Because
all those factors.
you're trying to secure as much money as you can while your window is open.
Okay,
So
next
if
point.
yeah.
Next question.
Uh-huh.
Chris Middleton looked like he don't really spend a lot of money. And that wasn't shade. That was not Truth Nation. That was not shade. I promise. He just does not. He does not get. I don't get the vibe of him BMFing. I don't see Chris Middleton as a BMF.
Right.
And
right.
for those that wonder what BMF means, that means blowing money fast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him as that. So
He's not.
What's going on?
The last time I checked, do you have enough money? Like right now, do you have enough money? Or you can always want some more, right? Or you could use some more.
If I don't have enough money, I'm calling, what's his name? Blake? Bill Blake? I'm good. Blake.
So my point
Blake got
is,
8 jobs.
yes, I have a friend who played 18 seasons in the NBA. And by year 15, I was like, hey, man, when you going to retire? Aren't you tired of this? He said, look, I'm getting $3 million just to stay in shape. I don't play that much. So why would I just say, nah, I'm good. I'm going to just go to the crib? No. As long as they're going to give you that money, Denise, take it. Because there's going to be a day they're not going to offer you that money. And once again, okay, you mentioned Chris and his injuries. So he takes the $40 million and he gets hurt again. Nobody's going to want to sign him next year because they're going to be like, dude, we're not going to pay you to be hurt on our team.
So why is he not taking? So okay, he's waiting for a bigger bag? That's what he's doing.
I would say I would much rather get 2 or 3 more years and $100 million than 1 year and $40 million.
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody gonna give Chris Middleton $100 million. Come on, really?
That's why he's becoming a free agent, so he could get more years and more money.
This is,
and it's guaranteed.
I totally pursued the wrong career. I should have been in sports management because I would have really focused on those type of clients. Because I'm like, okay.
Hey, that's what I can't think of her last name, but the one who represents Jalen Hurts.
You know what? I'm glad you brought him up really quick. So football season is approaching, and just so y'all know, Truth Nation, it's gonna get real ugly between Telly and Ben and I, because this will be the first year of co-hosting Truth Be Told with DT and Telly as a Bears fan. So it's going to be real interesting between. Look at Ben. Ben didn't drop his head. Oh, everybody know I'm a Bears fan. Look what I got on. Everybody, it's no secret. So I'm just giving y'all a heads up. But the reason why I brought up Jalen Hurts is because, as everybody knows, my team sucks consistently. Ben, I don't need your underscore. I know. I don't need your feedback or your ad lib or your response. And Truth Nation definitely don't need any comments from y'all. Anywho, I've decided to, as part of my mental health care, because during the Bears season, they disappoint me so much, I usually lose my mind and contemplate jumping in the river. So I'm going to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan and a Bears fan this season. See, that's gonna even it out.
Do they play each other?
No, I thought
okay.
I looked at the schedule.
Yeah, they're both in the NFC, but that's
there
interesting.
is a big game. I think Philadelphia plays the Raiders in Vegas, and I think I'm going to go to that game and just walk up in there with because I mean, his whole management staff are women, and his agent is a black woman who got him the highest contract. So why would I not cheer for the Philadelphia Eagles? We got a break, y'all. Ben, he is cracking up at the fact that I root for the most sorry team, and that's okay. Because when we win the Super Bowl, you can't come to my party. Y'all, it's Tuesday. You're listening to the best morning show in the world on the award-winning 101.7 FM. This is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. We've got so much to talk about, and we're going to play some audio for y'all when we come back from somebody, one of the biggest facet leaders on earth that still will not say, I did it. More to come. We come back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, this is 101.7 Truth Be Told co-host Denise Thomas, and I am Milwaukee. Milwaukee is so important to me because as a transplant who relocated to Milwaukee 20 years ago, there has been so much that has been poured into me, and I have to return that contribution. This station is important for our community because it provides exposure and representation. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is your Axe Housing Home Buying Tip of the Week with D. Kemp.
The first thing I need everybody to do is get out of your own way. We are so good at talking ourselves out of our own blessings. If you are renting right now and you want to be a homeowner, know that you can do that and you're capable of it, and there are people and places that are going to support you in that effort. Get started by going to axhousing.org, completing the virtual orientation, and as soon as you're done, pick up the phone and say, I need an appointment with a home buyer coach because I am ready to be a homeowner. Not only do we have people who are going to provide you with that home buyer education, we have realtors. We have an acquisition fund that is purchasing homes at affordable prices so that there's housing inventory for you once you're ready to buy. Let's make this process as easy as possible for you because you have the people that you need on your team to make your dream of home ownership a reality.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their Community Uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a Community Uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Imagine this. It's 1968 and the mayor of Milwaukee says nope to Summerfest. How many bands would you have never seen, and how many lakeside selfies just wouldn't exist? There'd be no memories of riding the Sky Glider at sunset, and you'd never know the feeling of hitting all 12 stages before seeing your favorite band. Thankfully, 55 years ago, Summerfest was a yes, and every year since has been one to remember. Don't miss Milwaukee Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. Find tickets, lineup, and more at summerfest.com.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now, Milwaukee. You know, perspective is essential. What I found is the news behind the news is more important. I want you to leave my show with a sense of knowing what was missing that adds depth to the conversation. Tune in Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. on the new 101.7 The Truth, the Truth app, or 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Be Told with DT and Telly returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I don't want to live in lavish, like I'm playing for the Mavericks. I don't want to the might make me fool her, even though she average. Dirty money in the cook, 45 by my good.
Welcome back to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Truth Nation, Violence is a problem that affects us all, but together we can make a difference. The award-winning 1017 The Truth wants to ignite positive change and bring awareness to the senseless violence occurring in our community. This is why we are hosting our inaugural Truth Walk Against Violence, led by Tori Lowe, on Saturday, July 22nd, from Victory Over Violence Park, down MLK Drive, right to our studio at the 3rd Street Market Hall. If you want to join the fight to stop violence, go to 1017thetruth.com right now to sign up for our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 22nd.
So, if you are just tuning in, first of all, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, June 27th, 2023. We are here live in the American Family Insurance Studio, and you are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Before we broke, we were talking about Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton said, no, I'm good on $40.5 million, or 40. Let me say it right, because that's $100,000.
Right.
Different.
I could use that.
Man, don't even get me started. On the Truth Talking text line, which is 833-212-1017, Brian says, Telly, I heard Golden State has feelers out for Chris Middleton. If that's true, that would explain his hesitation, don't you think? Everybody knows the Golden Boys love a shooter with defensive skills.
Yeah, Brian, there's a lot of things that are being said right now. When free agency begins on Thursday, you're going to hear a lot of things. And on top of that, you had Jordan Poole get traded away, Milwaukee's own Jordan Poole get traded to the Washington Wizards. But they did add Chris Paul at 37 years old. So I don't know if you want a 37-year-old, then you're going to add Chris Middleton's 32. You got Draymond, Steph, Clay. They're all in their early 30s. So I don't know, but Brian, we'll see.
I feel so old when I hear you say those ages. Like, yeah, they're kind of old, 37. I'm like, oh, my gosh, it's a baby. But I get it. It's sports.
Well, that's a lot of running and jumping. That's a long time of running and jumping and shooting and all that. So that's why.
Well, speaking of running and jumping and shooting.
And popping off at the mouth.
All right, y'all. So let me be clear before we go into this next topic. I want to be perfectly clear. I am not promoting any political party. You do. My mantra is you do you. I'm just here to provide information and at times give you my perspective. Now, I want to start with this, y'all, because it's important to understand this controversy and why it is such a huge factor whenever you make the decision on who you're going to vote for during this upcoming presidential election. Now, do y'all remember when Hillary Clinton served as the United States Secretary of State? There was a big controversy about her using a private email server for official public communications rather than using official State Department email accounts that are maintained on federal servers for obvious reasons. Now, after a long investigation by the FBI, it was determined, now y'all hear me out here, it was determined that Clinton's server did not contain, because remember, she wasn't using the federal server, she was using her own, did not contain any information that were clearly marked classified. Just stay with me. The FBI did say that 100 emails contained information that should have been deemed classified at the time that they were sent, including 65 emails that were deemed secret and 22 of those emails that were deemed top secret. An additional 2,100 emails were retroactively designated confidential by the State Department. Okay? So those are the facts on Hillary Clinton. Fast forward, when former President Trump was running against, at the time, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton for the POTUS seat, what did he talk about all the time in terms of why you should not vote for Hillary Clinton?
Lock her up. Emails.
Lock her up. Emails. She is jeopardizing the national security. That and quite frankly, he called her a nasty woman, even though he said that, you got to grab a woman anywho. Now, these are the facts I'm giving y'all. And again, I'm not promoting either side. But when we come back, now that we've revisited Hillary, when we come back, we're going to play you some audio that CNN just released regarding former President Trump. And it's going to be interesting because I want to know what's the difference. But when we come back, we're going to play the audio. You're listening to the award-winning 101.7 FM. This is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly.
Truth Be Told with DT and Telly returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
On the Rocks, premium cocktails are now being served at Whitetail. Located in downtown Milwaukee at 1110 North Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, you can join them this Saturday, July 1st from 10 p.m. to midnight for the chance to enjoy these premium cocktails on them. Try their effing Cosmopolitan or Nito's Margarita in Knob Creek Old Fashioned. You can also purchase these products locally at Pick and Save Midtown. Please drink responsibly. On the Rocks, ready to serve cocktails.
Keeping you informed and up to date on the legislation which will impact you the most.
So right now, we do not have the 2/3 vote necessary to pass the sales tax increase for Milwaukee. If it does pass, we are still in deep financial trouble, and we have all of these strings attached to this legislation. So like I did yesterday, I'm going to do again today and tomorrow until the cows come home. I want you to call your Milwaukee Common Council member and tell them that you are not in favor of this proposal that has far too many negative strings attached to Milwaukee, that includes a sales tax increase that doesn't even get us out of debt. In fact, if they vote for this, we will have to go back to this same Republican-controlled legislature and ask for more money, and then the strings will be even more severe than they are right now. This thing cannot pass. It cannot.
Stream the award-winning 101.7 The Truth every day by downloading the Truth app and on all your favorite streaming platforms.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
We got some trouble now on 41 southbound. Right about at Pilgrim Road, we've got 2 right lanes blocked with a crash. That's going to be tying things up from well before the county line. It's about 22 minutes to get from Highway Q to the zoo, an 8-minute backup. Northbound on 43, pretty much typical for your delays as usual. It's about a 12-minute ride from downtown to Brown Deer Road, slowing from before North Avenue all the way up to about Keith. The southbound side's going to be slow from just before Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, smoke and haze, a high of 75 at the lake, 81 inland. Tonight, hazy with a low of 59. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snine. After winning 2 out of 3 in Cleveland, the Milwaukee Brewers took their talents to the Big Apple, and with one swing of the bat, Joey Wiemer and the Milwaukee Brewers took Game 1 of the 4-game set.
Wiemer, a high fly ball, deep center field, going back is Nimmo. At the track, at the wall, gone! Joey Wiemer flips this game. It's 2-1 Crew.
The Brewers would go on to hold that 2-1 lead and secure the team's 41st victory of the season. And now, first-place Brewers are right back at it tonight in New York. Julio Teheran is slated to get the start. Coverage gets underway over on 620 WTMJ beginning at 5:35. NBA free agency begins June 30th. Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez are among the Bucks' free agents to be, and the Bucks will officially begin their play in the Las Vegas Summer League beginning on July 7th. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. We're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, inside the Avenue. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope y'all are having a great start to your new week. You deserve it. Make it a great week if others aren't doing it for you. We have been talking about a lot. We've talked about Chris Middleton. We've talked about, hey, congratulations to Toronto. Out of 102 candidates, they've elected their first Chinese-Canadian mayor. We've also been talking about Common Council, sales tax. And again, I'm not as intellectually connected to politics and government as our brother Sherwin Hughes, but I do know that I'm not for this sales tax increase. I'm sorry. It's just not working for me, primarily for my shopping habits. I'm just keeping it 100 on Truth Be Told. But in all seriousness, you know, I found it interesting, Truth Nation, that when certain individuals in my network were transparent enough to share, you know, whether they voted for President Trump, why they voted for President Trump. It was pretty consistent. It was either I voted for the lesser of two evils, or I just could not vote for someone who compromised our national security. At the time, I was like, valid. You know, because again, I'm not here to tell you or try to sway you on who you should vote for or how you should vote. All I say, Truth Nation, especially for those as Black Americans, that you do vote. Because too many of our ancestors, too many of, you know, the ones that came before us lost their lives, and in a lot of ways tragically and brutally, so that we could vote. Now, before the break, I took us down memory lane because there was a similar controversy when Hillary Clinton served as the United States Secretary of State. And she was using a private email server for official public communications rather than using the official State Department email account. That's a fact. There was a long investigation by the FBI. They determined that Clinton's server did not contain any information or emails that were clearly marked classified. However, federal agencies did. They determined that out of the 100 emails that were sent on the private server, Hillary Clinton's private server, I should say, let me be formal, Madam Secretary emails, 65 of those were secret, 22 of those were top secret. Those are facts, all right? Mm-hmm. Now, during the presidential election between Madam Secretary Clinton and former President Trump, that is all he talked about. She's a nasty woman. She compromised the national security. Email. She should go to jail. She should go to jail. Am I lying, y'all? Stop me if I'm lying. He used those words. She should go to jail. She should be prosecuted, et cetera, et cetera. Fast forward. And again, I'm here to just give y'all the truth. Ben, can we cue the audio? Now, CNN just released, and they've been playing it. CNN has been broadcasting and playing this recording since they released it yesterday. It's a CNN exclusive, but they basically obtained the tape of former President Trump's 2021 conversation about what? You got it. Classified documents. Here we go.
These are bad, sick people.
That was your coup, against you.
It started right at the
like
beginning.
when Millie's talking about, you were going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in. That's right. Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found. Isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. But look at this.
All right, Ben, we can stop because this. Now, if you're just tuning in, that was actual audio, a recording of former President Trump indicating that he was holding a secret Pentagon document with plans to attack Iran. And he basically was saying, see, Mom, it wasn't me. Telly did it. See, you can't ground me. See, Mom, that wasn't me. Notice the term off the record. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, and by no means am I someone who has served or have an educational background in government. But Telly and Ben, it don't take, a 5-year-old can figure out by listening to this audio that he's already, as someone who rarely takes accountability, I've never heard him take accountability for anything. You put that much time and energy in building a case against Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton when you were running for president, saying that no one should vote for someone who doesn't protect the security of this country. And here you are, the President of the United States, the Chief Executive Officer of the military, and talking about the Pentagon, which is our Defense Department, by the way. That's who protects our freedom and our security from an administrative standpoint. And that is basically what the president has say over, is the military. Like, we can go to war. Yep, sign up. I declare we're going to war. And
that's why he's called the Commander-in-Chief.
Thank you. And here we are. Now, this is to me, Telly, a prime example of what goes around comes around.
Yeah. He's going to have a lot of that coming around because he has found a way to do so many things and think that because he was president, he was above the law and, I could do this because I'm the president and you can't do anything for me. I'll pardon myself, or I'll just declassify, or I'll just do this, or I'll just do that. So he always has felt like, in my opinion, of course, we don't know the man, but outside looking in, it looks like he has always been the one that, look, I'm right, you're wrong, you guys need to figure it out. And, so this is nothing new. This is nothing we haven't seen from him. The only thing we haven't seen yet is how he's going to get out of this one, because he's been able to weasel himself out of everything else.
But here's my thing. Again, I've said this before, Telly. I'm not mad at President Trump. He is who he is. He has consistently shown people, even before he was president, and when, he's a businessman who has always been me, never my fault. You. And I'm cool with that because he's shown us, and as in the words of the great Dr. Maya Angelou, may she rest in heaven, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. I'm not mad at Trump. I want to be clear. There's a lot of people in this thing called life that we tolerate. We know who they are. I'm questioning. See, this is where I'm like, American people, American citizens, those who vote for or vote during the presidential election, And again, Telly, Ben, I've spoken with friends who have said, yes, I voted for Trump, but I voted for Obama, but this time I voted for Trump. Why? Well, I had to vote for the lesser of two evils. Or, Hillary Clinton compromised the national security. So what are we going to say this time?
Look.
What's the difference? What's the difference, Truth Nation? I'm serious. What's the difference?
But that's the thing, though, Denise. That has been a tactic for so many years when it comes to politics. It's the scare tactic. It's you don't want to go with them. They're going to do this. You want to go with me. I'm safe. I'm not going to have compromising emails. I'm not going to do this. And look at what she's doing. If she's doing this now, what will she do once she gets into the presidential office? And so it's all. I mean, we've talked about this before. I
disagree, though.
You don't think it was the scare tactic? No.
I think, and I'm gonna raise some eyebrows, and I'm just gonna keep it real because it's truth be told. I feel like it's either one of two. One, you didn't want to vote for a woman. Two, if you were a woman, which I still can't even think how you could feel comfortable voting for a man who had 3 baby mamas, an extramarital affair, hired a prostitute, all this other stuff, and then told the public that he could grab a woman by her. Yes. So I think that for those women, their husbands or partners went with them to vote and stood right behind them and said, you already know what to do. Don't go in there and act a fool. You already know who to vote for. That's just my personal opinion. Because, see, if you look at the demographics of who showed up and who voted for, as women, who voted for Madam Secretary Clinton when she was on the POTUS ticket, it was black women. That's why when President Biden got elected, it was like, you know what to do. I mean, I'm not saying that, well, I'm just going to keep it real, truth be told. It was like, you know what to do, Biden. You know who got you in this seat. So don't disappoint us. And I think it goes both ways. It's hey, I can't vote for a woman. I would rather vote for a black man before I vote for a woman. I think this country still is not ready to vote for a woman. And they use that rationale. So when we come back, Truth Nation, what do you think? What are your thoughts? You heard the audio. We're back in this whole, classified document controversy, which is actually very serious because it is something that can compromise the security of this country. The talk and text line, the Truth talk and text line is 833-212-1017. We come back. What do you think? What are your thoughts about this new recording of President Trump basically talking about a document from the Pentagon that was about a potential attack on Iran? So it's a big deal. 833-212-1017. You are listening to the award-winning 101.7 FM. We will be back.
Truth Be Told with DT and Telly returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 101.7 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 101.7 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as 1 business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 101.7 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
A recent survey question at work asked, who's your best friend at work? My reply, no one. You know, it came to me, I've never had a best friend. I remember I had a best friend, but I wasn't his best friend. I initiate hanging out today, doing the bro thing, I don't get calls like, hey, let's go hang out. Let's go do stuff. And don't start calling me because you feel sorry for me. I'm not a crybaby snowflake. I'm content hanging out by myself. I grew up behind in 4 important statistics: education, income, investments, home ownership. Not seeing these things in my life, I grew up poor. Today, I'm a step ahead of many of my peers, and that's where the road forks and the clock started. See, I set people and organizations on a clock. When the buzzer rings, I'm tapping out. I don't waste good things, education, income, intellect, wisdom, advice on people who won't appreciate them. Matthew 7:6 warns us to give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. Life made me tough. I've heard people say he doesn't have feelings. I do. I learned not to share them because I'm making sure my life doesn't end up like everybody else's, trampled underfoot.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. It is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. We've been having some fun during this first hour, but Denise, I gotta do this now because this was such an experience for me, and I was so glad I was able to provide this same experience for our lucky winner. Now, I told you a couple of weeks ago for my wife's birthday, I was able to take her to the St. Kate, had a great time, so much so that I wanted to provide that for our Truth Nation listeners. And we had a free one-night staycation giveaway, and the winner, after a week long of entering the names and being caller number 7, Caparina, you are the winner of the one-night stay at the St. Kate. And congratulations to Caparina. And if you want that same type of deal or experience, just head over to stkatearts.com, and Denise knows all about the hotel, and I'm telling you, I'm still,
it's amazing.
Yes, I'm still walking on good graces around the Hughes household, let me tell you.
Yes, it was. Ben, I'm going to need you to quit talking in my ear while I'm trying to listen to Telly. Now, I'm not that professional. I'm new to this radio. I'm trying to, Telly, say it again what you said. It's truth be told. Y'all, let me tell y'all, radio, it ain't easy. I thought it was going to be just, I come in the studio and, Ben be like, okay, say the syllable this way. At this time, you got 30 seconds. I want y'all to understand. I'm doing the behind the scenes right now. Ben be up in our ear, y'all. See, Tori and Sherwin and Telly. See, look. Yeah. That's what I'm
used to it. Yeah, I'm used to it. But no, you're right. It can be confusing with someone talking to you and you trying to talk. But it was a great time and you know it.
Right. Our producer will have a whole conversation, y'all, in our ear. Okay, so we do this, and I'm like, hold on, wait, okay. So I just want y'all to know what DT, the new to this radio thing is.
Well, I tell you what, we got a great second hour coming up. Stay tuned. You're listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly.
Love y'all.
It's your girl Melanie Ricks from Nothing But the Truth, and there's a fantastic event coming up that you don't want to miss. The award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to announce our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. We are bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There'll be live music, spoken word, delicious food, healthcare resources, and free giveaways. So mark your calendars and come out to enjoy the music, food, and fun at our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th.
I noticed that my central vision started to blur.
Figures that are usually straight started to distort to become wavy.
What are these little dark spots with blurring that I'm seeing?
There's a blind spot like a blob over my vision now.
Is my vision lost forever?
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist in a timely manner have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Don't delay seeing a retina specialist. It's worth the visit to save your vision so you don't miss out on life's precious moments, like seeing your grandchild grow up, enjoying a sunset with that special someone, or reading a good book. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Words to live by. Back then didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. It is Tuesday. We got Benjamin, our amazing producer, who's helping us get our morning started here. Coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio inside the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. During the first hour, we've talked about a lot of things. Before the break, we were talking about the CNN exclusive audio they just released. If you go to the CNN website, you can hear the recording of President Trump during a 2021 conversation about classified documents, including a moment when the former president seems to indicate that he was holding a secret Pentagon document with plans to attack Iran, which was interesting because that was one of the main areas of focus during his campaign against Madam Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, saying that she was using emails to compromise the national security. The Truth Talk and text line is 833-212-1017. We've had a huge number of responses. Thank you all so much for listening, and thank you for sharing your perspective. We're going to start with Brian. Brian says, black folks used to be into capitalism, but since the pandemic, some black folks have become lazy socialist idiots. Tim on the Truth Talk and text line shares, Gary John. Now keep me, all right, Telly, I'm looking for you to make sure you screen it because you know I'll be reading stuff and then. Am I good?
I got you. Yeah. Okay. I think you're good. It is long, but I think it's good. No. Not that's the next one. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Yep, you're good.
Gary Johnson. This comes from Tim. Gary Johnson was available. We could have broke the two-party system if enough people would have voted for Gary. Could have had a third option back in 2020. Gary fumbled the bag when he didn't know about Tibet. Grant says, good morning, DT and Telly. The batch of deplorables has increased in size. These despicables will vote for that con artist no matter what he does. It's as if he has them all hypnotized. Honestly, many of them are decent, honest people from many walks of life. They're not all white. Many African Americans and many Christians tend to vote for the Republican Party because of their stance against homosexuality and abortion rights. And Martin, he just says, good morning, fight the power. Thank you for that. Thank you all. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you tuned in to The Truth and Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Again, a lot going on. Again, I just want to ask Truth Nation and continue to ask, when you use your vote, be consistent, because this is a prime example of how, to Telly's point earlier, certain politicians will put that fear in you. Oh, the national security is at risk. We can't have this. You seem to be so passionate about that, but you did the exact same thing.
Yes. Yes. So be careful. You're right. And understand and get all the information you can get before voting. There's no shot clock on when you got to vote. It just, you figure out what you think it suits best for you and your family and what this politician is trying to do for your community, and then base your vote off that. Don't just base it off of shock value or clickbait or whatever the case may be. You have headlines and then you just go with the headline and don't really read into it. Just like this sales tax, read into it, see how this is going to affect you. It's not just, oh, it's a 2% sales tax. Like Denise said, you may not have even thought about it. If you're a shopper, that changes. Everything goes up. Everything goes up. So keep that in mind.
Price.
Yes, ain't today's.
It's not going to be to bright. So we got how many more months? If y'all don't make that call to your common council member,
oh yeah,
we got about 7 more months to enjoy the 5.6 sales tax.
No, less than 6 months. Yeah, because it'll take place at the beginning of the year if this vote takes place by the end of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
the end throughout the remaining of 2024.
Yeah, exactly. But another story.
Next year, y'all ain't gonna get no good gifts from me if that sales tax go up. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, last year you got me some Ferragamo shoes. Ferragamo, nothing this. Hey, Target, where you at? They got a nice shoe department.
Yeah, that's Fargomo then.
Ain't gonna be no Italian. No, ain't gonna be no Italian. Ain't gonna be no Parisian. It's gonna be straight American Target or Walmart from DT.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And Denise, another story that is catching a lot of headlines now down in Chicago. In case you haven't seen or heard about it, there is video that shows the altercation up until there was a shooting. But apparently there was an argument between a 35-year-old woman named Carlicia Hood and a man named Jeremy Brown inside a Chicago hot dog stand. And apparently there was an argument, and it reached a point, you can actually hear this on the audio, where Jeremy Brown, who was fatally shot, saying to this woman, if you say one more thing, I'm going to knock you out.
And he hit her.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, my grandmama, I'm going to knock you out. And so keep in mind, as I was reading this story, I didn't realize this woman was texting her 14-year-old son in the car saying, hey, this guy is I don't know what he may do. I don't know what she was saying in the text messages, but apparently she was letting him know what was going on. And as the altercation proceeded, Jeremy Brown hit this woman 3 times, punched her like a man. And the 14-year-old son, by the 3rd punch, he came in and shot him in his back. Jeremy Brown pronounced dead at the scene at 30. This is a 32-year-old man punching a 35-year-old woman. And at first, not only Miss Hood, but her 14-year-old son were both arrested and were taken into custody with a $3 million bond. But they were released as charges were dropped. What do you think about that? Because, number one, that is one heck of a position for a young man, a 14-year-old son, to see a grown man punch his mother in the face like she's a man. Number one. Number two, I couldn't imagine being in that situation because, Denise, I don't know if I would have tried to kill him, but I think I would have shot him too. If you punching my mama and I'm 14.
Telly, I'm with you. I watched the video. I watched it several times last night. And first of all, the brother that was shot, let me just say this. It was clear that he was suffering from a mental illness. He had a lot of trauma because he literally was taking his fist and he was like, if you say something one more time, I'm going to hit you. So that right there indicated that he was not in the right mental health. Like he wasn't in the right mental state.
I don't know, Denise. You have some men that feel like, oh, if you say something wrong to me, I'm going to treat you like a man. I'm going to punch you like a man. So
that is a form of mental illness. If you feel like you could, that's what we got to start doing, Telly, in our community. I'm not rationalizing what he did because I'm agreeing with you, but I'm starting with the cause. See, that's what we got to start doing. And I think Melanie Ricks on Nothing But the Truth, our sister Melanie, said this, and I totally agree with Mel. I think mental health care, therapy should be mandated in starting in the public schools, especially for black men in this country, because any type of racism is a disease. And you have a lot of black men in this country that day by day, since they were 2 years old, have been dealing with trauma. You can see his behavior. He's like, if you say something else, I'm paraphrasing, I'm going to knock you out. Okay, so that was a threat. That was number one.
You ain't paraphrasing. I think that's what he said.
And then she said something, and y'all, when I tell you, like you said, he hit her like he was trying to knock her out like a dude, like another man.
He hit her like Draymond Green hit Jordan Poole.
Exactly. Now, if that were me, if I were the mama and my son was in the car, I would have been like, hey, this dude's about to hit me. He's threatening me. Now, I know my son. If he would have walked in there as a 14-year-old, young man or 14-year-old teenager and saw this grown man stealing on my mama, hitting on, his mama, probably would have been the same outcome.
Yes.
Right or wrong, because here it is. And before Truth Nation, before we start going in on this, and we definitely want to hear your thoughts, 833-212-1017. This is what we got to start doing a better job of, y'all, including me. Do not respond coming from a position of rationale, because right now you might be in the right mind. You're calm. You might be at work. You're driving to work. And so to hear that somebody was shot for hitting somebody, it's like, that's terrible. What? They should be locked up. No. Put yourself in that situation. It's Chicago, which is right now one of the most violent cities in this country. It's number two, a human being who is demonstrating mental illness. Number three, they hit your mama not once, not twice, not 3 times. But when I tell y'all, when y'all see this video, he stole on her like she was a grown 500-pound man.
Yeah.
So from that, all of this is happening in a matter of seconds. So that young boy's reaction, the 14-year-old, the son, I'm just saying, Telly, I probably would have did the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's no question I would have done that if that was my mama.
Shot. Yeah, you're seeing, take for example, we're going to talk about that, A.J. Owens, Ajika Owens. You're seeing people shooting people's parents and getting away with it. So this 14-year-old boy probably is like, you ain't taking my mama out. I need my mama. That's my mama.
Yeah, and you're not going to punch her like she's a man. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, you're not putting your hands on my mom, period, let alone this isn't someone she knew. This was just an altercation, and it just amazes me, like, how does it end up here? Like, what were you arguing about that was that, like, important? And, I mean, especially, but once again, when you can't look at this as from a logical, rational standpoint.
You can't, because we do that. We do that all the time. It's like you're driving in your car, or as they commonly say, you're sitting in your ivory tower and you're looking down. And again, this brother who was murdered demonstrated mental illness. And see, that's why you also have to be careful about your surroundings and people's behaviors, because violence, it is infectious, and we are now living in a country where people are saying the only thing I can do now is respond with violence. It's either kill or be killed. That's where we are right now. On the Truth Talking text line, Grant was like 3 million. Yeah, that was a real number.
Mm-hmm.
Brian on the Truth Talking text line, which is 833-212-1017, says black mental illness comes directly from trash rap music and the Jerry Springer era.
I don't know about
wherever it comes from, black mental illness is real. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, Telly. And when I was praying and meditating this morning, I thought about sharing this. So thank you to the Most High for reminding me to bring this up. I took a break as of, I would say last July. I took a break from therapy. And based on what has been happening in my life, good things as well as not so great things, I started back. I had my first therapy session with my clinical psychologist. Please, y'all, get some therapy. I just had my first session yesterday since last July, and it was so refreshing. My therapist said she was very proud of me. She's been watching me on social media. She also is my daughter's therapist, so she said, I see you, D, you're doing the work. I'm proud of you. But Telly, Ben, Truth Nation, get therapy. Your mental health care is just as important as your physical health care. There are 5 pillars to success. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on those 5 pillars, but I will tell you this. Whatever success looks and feels like for you, you better make sure that you are taking care of your mental and physical well-being. This is not a joke. And I'm speaking specifically to black people, because in our community, we talk about pray on it, mental health care therapy, that's for rich people. No. I just had my first therapy session since last July, and it was so good, Telly.
And Denise, and I know I speak for myself, but I think I speak for Truth Nation in terms of your transparency and what's going on. But I also look at that as a way that you're trying to help others. It's not just saying, okay, this is what I'm doing and be on your own. This is something that you have seen the benefits. You've seen the changes that it has made in your life. And that was something even growing up in the black community, you, especially as a black man, you weren't told to express your feelings or your inner thoughts. It's keep it in, men don't cry and this, that, and the other. So, and when you hold all that stuff in, it can be extremely poisonous. And so I totally agree with you. And I think that's something that it shouldn't have the stereotype or the moniker behind it, because most of the time people think you only need therapy when something's wrong. And usually that's when it's too late.
You need therapy like you need to take a bath and brush your teeth every day. That's what I say.
There it is. There it is.
Now, Brian on the Truth Talking text line says the 15-year-old from Juneteenth, I guarantee you, listens to drill rap every day, all day. Rap music has satanic. Okay, hold on. No, wait a minute. Hold on, Brian.
Yeah, like I think you're putting way too much into just music. I think it has something to do with parents and how they're raised. And I listened to all type of gangster music when I was growing up. Didn't mean that I wanted to go out and do it.
Right. In all fairness, let me finish reading the whole text. Okay. So
okay.
Be fair to Brian. Brian on the Truth Talking text line, again, 833-212-1017 said, and I want to read it in its entirety. The 15-year-old from Juneteenth, I guarantee you, listens to drill rap every day, all day. Rap music has satanic, demonic spells on it, specific to young black men, period, and young women. Brian, that's how you feel. I'm all about different perspectives, so I'm not going to necessarily shoot what you said down, but I do, and again, Telly, I want to hear from you. I disagree, because again, now, to a certain degree, actually, this is a good point, Telly. My therapist, we're gonna have her on a guest on the show because she's out of Chicago. My therapist says to me, what you consume is what you manifest. So there is a level of validity to what Brian is saying. Garbage in, garbage out. If you were constantly watching, listening, hearing violence, and I'm not going to say that, because what I don't like about your statement, Brian, is that you're perpetuating the stereotype that hip-hop music is violent. Hip-hop music is not violent. There are certain genres of music, including rock, that talk about, and again, Bohemian Rhapsody, one of the most popular songs in this country, and the first lyrics from Freddie Mercury are, Mama, I just killed a man. So there are a number of rock and roll country, all kind of genres. So let's not make this a black music thing, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we know how much you all are loving this morning's conversation. Keep the text messages and calls coming in. If you miss any of it, remember, you can always go back and listen by downloading the Truth Be Told podcast, sponsored by Gruber Law Offices on multiple platforms. The 1017 The Truth app can be found on Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And I know we'll have more on this topic and much, much more. We still got plenty more to get to. Yes.
Got a lot of texts coming in.
Yes, we do. And we're going to get to them and many more on the other side of the break. You're listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly.
This is 1017 The Truth, Denise Thomas, and the time is now, Milwaukee. The Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is so relevant. You deserve a sense of motivation, encouragement, and fact-based information that impacts our community every morning, and that's exactly what we're going to bring to you. So listen to Truth Be Told with me, Denise Thomas, every day from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is your Axe Housing home buying tip of the week with D. Kemp.
The first thing I need everybody to do is get out of your own way. We are so good at talking ourselves out of our own blessings. If you are renting right now and you want to be a homeowner, know that you can do that and you're capable of it, and there are people and places that are going to support you in that effort. Get started by going to axhousing.org, completing the virtual orientation, and as soon as you're done, pick up the phone and say, I need an appointment with a home buyer coach because I am ready to be a homeowner. Not only do we have people who are going to provide you with that home buyer education, we have realtors. We have an acquisition fund that is purchasing homes at affordable prices so that there's housing inventory for you once you're ready to buy. Let's make this process as easy as possible for you because you have the people that you need on your team to make your dream of home ownership a reality.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I lost my 10-year-old daughter, Teresa, to COVID in just a few short days. Teresa was a healthy child who loved to dance. When Teresa got sick, I didn't think it was serious until she was rushed to the hospital. COVID and flu can be serious for anyone, but they're especially dangerous for communities of color. Please get your COVID and flu vaccines and stay up to date on all immunizations, because vaccines save lives.
To learn how to protect your family, visit vaccinateyourfamily.org/learn.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City Year Milwaukee is recruiting for its 14th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit cityyear.org to connect with our local recruiters and learn how to apply.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Push these off me like
That's all I wanted to get to. I just needed to get to that part. Truth Nation, there's a fantastic event coming up that you won't want to miss. The award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to announce our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. We are bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There will be live music, spoken word, delicious food, healthcare resources, and free giveaways. So mark your calendars right now for this exciting event and come out to enjoy the music, food, and fun at our inaugural Truth Family Fest. is on Saturday, August 12th at Riverside University High School.
And speaking of marking your calendar, this is the last week, y'all, to sign up for our Black-owned business give back. If you want to win $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising on The Truth for 3 months, go to blackbusinessgiveback.com right now. Again, that is free advertisement for your business to market itself, valued at $6,000. So don't miss out on this great opportunity. Go to blackbusinessgiveback.com right now to sign up today. And for official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. If you're just tuning in, happy Tuesday. Thank you for listening. We've had an incredible show so far, talking about so many things going on, including Chris Middleton, President Trump's classified document possession. Now we're talking about something that just happened terrible in Chicago. Carlisha Hood, her son, 14-year-old son, shot another man during a verbal and physical altercation in a Chicago restaurant. It was one of those famous hot dog restaurants where you walk up, and everybody knows Chicago's known for their great hot dogs. Now, if you haven't watched the video, you will see from the moment that the video starts, you will see a visibly traumatized young black man. And he threatens the lady, Carlisha Hood, and says basically, if you say anything else, I'm going to punch you. I'm going to knock you out, something to that degree. And she did, and he did as well. And as the verbal exchange was taking place, the mother apparently was texting her 14-year-old son who was in the parking lot. And once he read the text message, like any son protecting their mama, he walks inside the restaurant and shoots the other man that physically, at this point now, assaulted his mother. Truth Nation, a lot of text going on. It says, and let me start with Sir Chance. Even if I didn't have a gun and I saw that, I would have picked up a chair or any object and tried to beat the brakes off of him, regardless of how old I was and or what size I was versus what size he was. I feel you, Sir Chance. Another talk and text line listener says, the butt-naked truth, I wish he hadn't killed him. I would have shot him myself, hitting my mother. And Brian says, therapy for our youth is non-existent. The only effective treatment for our crazy acting youth is a year complete detox from hateful drill style jughead talk rap, which is no way hip-hop rap. That is the only therapy our unrelated and unloved black youth can change, period. Telly, you and DT weren't raised by Telly, you and DT were raised by caring parents. You are the exceptions. No, I don't agree with that neither. I think, see, that's another thing.
See how I responded? Like, you don't know that. I responded, but I was raised by a single black mother. 5 of us. So you want to talk about, oh, we're misguided, or I didn't have a father figure around.
I'm going to let Telly have the mic out because, you know, Telly usually don't be snapping. So let me just.
No, I'm not snapping. I'm just saying, like, speak what you know.
Tell your truth, brother. Go
ahead.
I'm
just saying, speak what you know. I mean, we had every excuse to take a wrong path or make a left when we were supposed to make a right. Because I could have said, well, I ain't had no daddy around, and my mama was working 3 jobs. She wasn't around, but it comes to a point where you know right from right, wrong from wrong. So I'm not going to sit here and say because I was listening to 8-Ball and MJG growing up, I want to go out and sell weed and this, that, and the other for my whole life. It was just music. So, but once again, people react differently to different things. So, but you can try to pinpoint whatever you want to that led to this type of action, but I don't. Yeah,
Brian,
I don't know.
I'm going to say this to you, brother. I'm going to recommend to you that you remove the crazy acting descriptions, because if anything, you are part of the problem and not the solution. When you constantly criticize and judge, that is part of why our young future leaders act the way they act, because they're not receiving love. So when you say the only effective treatment for our crazy acting youth, right there is toxic. When you treat kids like animals and you talk to them like they're animals, that's exactly how they're going to behave. Yeah. The root cause of all of this is that our kids need love. They need guidance. They need love. It doesn't require two parents. It doesn't require two parents.
Yes.
It requires a community, a village of consistent love. And anytime that you talk about, because here's the thing, Brian, whether you like hip hop music or not, it is a pivotal force in pop culture, not just black culture, pop culture. Louis Vuitton just had a big fashion show introducing Pharrell Williams as the Louis Vuitton male director. Everybody in the front row, guess what? Louis Vuitton was a hip-hop artist. Everybody.
Yep.
They had. So what I'm saying to you, Brian, is that when you talk about the young people, and I understand your frustration, stay away from using hateful and toxic language like our crazy acting or the hip-hop satanic demonic. You ain't never been to hell because you still living. You don't know who. You don't know. Like, it's not for you to say that, Brian. And I say that to everybody. We have to stop talking about our youth like they're animals, because that's exactly what they're going to act like.
Yes, you're
now,
right.
I can't take my belt off. Because see all these conservative parents who have no, oh, don't beat your kids. That's so traumatic. See, but you don't see my kid in jail.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, and on
I
the
got a
text,
25-year-old black male son.
and on the text line. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry,
No, I
Denise.
was gonna
Finish.
say,
Yep.
We here at the truth. I got to do my politically. We here at the truth don't condone no violence, nothing like that. But I'm telling you, a single black mama. And I know Telly, he can either blink his eye once for yes or blink his eye twice for no. I know what a switch look and feel like. My kids, go ahead, let me stop.
Look.
That's the problem.
My mom ain't around anymore, so it can't nothing happen to her. I know what was going on in our household, and I'm glad that it happened, because I'm glad and happy the way I turned out. Deborah on the text line says there were other men standing there watching it unfold and did nothing to intervene. The problem with that, Deborah, is when you intervene in some of these situations, you may be the one that mess around and get shot.
Come on.
Like the dude that was punching the woman, Miss Hood, you don't know what he had under his waistband.
Did you see in the video, a brother walked out? He was like, it was like The Color Purple when Sophia was about to snap.
Time to go.
Time to go. You can see in the video, a brother, he was like, I'm out.
Yeah, because
I'm not him for that either.
Yes,
I like breathing.
Exactly, because you could be the good Samaritan, and then next thing you know, the story said it's a shame what happened to him. He was just trying to help. So yeah.
The Rock. Oh, I said The Rock. The Rock on the True Talk and text line says, thanks, DT, for checking Brian. You have to take whatever he says with a grain of salt. Remember, he's a Trump supporter and the Republicans. Okay, well, that's okay. Listen, I wasn't trying, and thank you for that, Rock. I wasn't necessarily trying to check Brian, and he can support Trump and whoever else he wants to support. But what you're not going to do on this show, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, what you're not going to do is judge a community that constantly suffers from, because again, Brian, I don't know your race, ethnicity, or nationality, but I will say this, nobody's perfect. And if you're not going to be part of the solution, as my fourth grade teacher told me, Telly and Ben, and when she said it, of course, I was 9 years old at the time, but I know exactly what she means now. She said, Denise, if you are not going to be a help, then please don't be a hindrance. Brian,
there it is.
If you are not going to be part of the solution, then please stop talking about the problem that ultimately you are coming from a lens, as I'm listening to your narrative, of privilege.
Yeah. And
Al says,
go ahead.
Sad
You
part,
get to Al.
no
Yep.
real black men to step up. That's why black women are the one unprotected on earth. So that's why black women have to fight. Al, you are back in my green now, because yesterday I had to disagree with you. Al, thank you. Come back, brother. I'm so glad you came back.
You knew Al was going to come back.
Al, man, that's I love me some Al.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, and I you know what? This is what I'm going to do, Truth Nation. Telly, Ben, we're going to talk about one more negative thing, which happens to be news, but we are going to end on a positive note. So you want to stay tuned because I've got some really, really positive, great news about our queen, our auntie, Angela Bassett. Before that, we've got some more news coming up, so stay tuned. You're listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on the award-winning 101.7 FM, The Truth.
Truth Be Told with DT and Telly returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This is the new 101.7 The Truth Milwaukee Public School Athletic Alumni Spotlight.
Valerie Daniels Carter, part owner of the Milwaukee Bucks and queen of a fast food empire, began right here in Milwaukee. But before Valerie would live out her dreams, she would first have to create them. Valerie began at Custer High School playing basketball. After graduation, Valerie attended Lincoln University and earned a basketball scholarship. She graduated college and opened her first Burger King in 1984. This excited Valerie as she diversified her portfolio, franchising brands such as Pizza Hut, Auntie Andy's Pretzels, and much more. Valerie's success continued, and she became part owner of the Bucks in 2014. And in 2021, along with the Bucks, she became a world champion. Valerie Daniels Carter, always a Custer Cougar, and always MPS proud.
This has been your Milwaukee Public School Athletic Alumni Spotlight, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Dear hero, whoever you are, you save lives. I live with sickle cell and the pain and the issues that come along with sickle cell every day. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime, probably in the hundreds. Blood helps me to be able to live.
My final tour was in Afghanistan in 2008. I was hit June 3rd. The next thing I remember, I woke up in Germany. The doctor came in and said, we're going to amputate your leg. I had to get a lot of blood transfusion to stay alive.
Because of you, I'm allowed to see my son grow up.
Because of you, I got a second chance at life.
Giving equals living. Give blood. Replenish the supply. Make an appointment to give today by visiting hhs.gov/giveblood. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Backing up from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Locust. You'll be back on the brakes heading into the Marquette. But the northbound side is slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keith. Once you get past Capitol Drive, it's not too bad. You're looking pretty good all the way into Ozaukee County. I'm checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Smoke and haze with a high of 75 at the lakefront, 81 inland. Tonight, hazy with a low of 59. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snott.
After winning 2 out of 3 in Cleveland, the Milwaukee Brewers took their talents to the Big Apple, and with one swing of the bat, Joey Wiemer and the Milwaukee Brewers took Game 1 of the 4-game set.
Wiemer, a high fly ball, deep center field, going back is Nimmo. At the track, at the wall, gone! Joey Wiemer flips this game. It's 2-1 Crew.
The Brewers would go on to hold that 2-1 lead and secure the team's 41st victory of the season. The now first-place Brewers are right back at it tonight in New York. Julio Teheran is slated to get the start. Coverage gets underway over on 620 WTMJ beginning at 5:35. NBA free agency begins June 30th. Chris Middleton and Brooke Lopez are among the Bucks' free agents to be, and the Bucks will officially begin their play in the Las Vegas Summer League beginning on July 7th. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tight dress, money long, it's neon. With the C on. By the bed, that's the only thing I be on. I be dripping like some ice cream from Leon's.
Problematic, got the beef, right?
Tune into The Truth with Sherwin Hughes for his financial empowerment interview with Northwestern Mutual. This Friday, Sherwin will be joined by Northwestern Mutual financial advisors Erica Wright and J.B. Bell, where they will break down the first steps you can take to start investing in your financial future. Call in at 833-212-1017 for free financial advice this Friday at 11 a.m. on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes.
Milwaukee, the time is almost here. We have been entering Truth fans into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway for the last 3 months. And yes, y'all, this Friday, we're going to have a dope show this Friday, Telly. We finally will pick our next one call, that's all, $5,000 giveaway winner. Be sure to tune in to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly this Friday at 8:30 a.m. to make sure that you do not miss your call, because y'all, if you do, we're going to go down to the next caller until we have our $5,000 winner. Again, that is the big Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway this Friday on Truth Be Told on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Now, that is some good news, and we're going to continue to have some great shows this week leading up to this Friday. As you all know, we are going to reignite the truth-telling hits with Telly this Friday. We're going to have Truth Tender tomorrow. Oh, no, we're going to do it Thursday. My bad. We're going to have Truth Tender on Thursday, Truth-Telling Hits with Telly on Friday. In the meantime, I'm very, very disappointed that, once again, it is proven that black lives in this country don't matter. And a lot of you get upset, you get frustrated when you hear that statement, and you want to automatically go to, well, all lives matter. Do they? Because Susan Lawrence, the shooter of Ajike Owens, or AJ Owens, mother of 4, who was murdered by Susan in front of her 4 children, is no longer facing murder charges. And State Attorney Bill Gladson said in a statement that his office carefully examined the viability of both second-degree murder and manslaughter with a firearm charge. And this is the quote: "I am aware of the desire of the family and some community members that the defendant be charged with second-degree murder. My obligation as state attorney is to follow the law in each case that I prosecute. I did so in this case, and while some may not agree with that decision, I can assure you the decision was thoughtful and made without consideration of any factors other than the specific facts of this terrible crime." So Lorenz was charged with 1 count. The woman who shot Ajike Owens, murdered, shot and killed her in front of her babies, was charged with 1 count of manslaughter with a firearm and 1 count of assault, and will face, and I want to emphasize, up to 30 years in prison on the charges, which, based on history, she probably going to do about, I'd say 5 to 10 years, have some type of probationary terms after murdering, cold-blooded gunshot Ajike Owens, in front of her 4 babies, her 4 kids. They will never, ever, 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 ever have the touch, the hug, the encouragement, the support, the maternal love from their mother because of Susan Lorentz, who will now just be charged with 1 count of manslaughter with a firearm and 1 count of assault, facing up to, and we know again what that means. So yeah, do Black Lives Matter in this country? I'm reminded every day they do not.
And Denise, I respectfully was quiet while you were talking, but also I'm at a loss for words. I just I don't know what to say. I don't know.
You have daughters, Telly.
Yeah,
Think about that.
I don't know. I don't know what to say because we can. I'll put it to you this way. Anything I have to say right now is something I've already said it before. And I have nothing new to add to this because it is utterly ridiculous of how this continues to happen. And the consequences are so different when the races are involved. Meaning, if this was reversed and a G.K. Owens shot this white woman through a door
in front of her 4 children.
In front of her 4 children, would the charges be the same? And I think we all know the answer. So I would say it's disappointing, but number 1 is Florida. And number 2, it's America. And we know there are 2 judicial systems in America. And that's just what it is.
So Mike from Mill Road, Telly, just read it because I can't. I don't have the capacity. Just read what Mike from Mill Road said.
Mike from Mill Road says, was it self-defense or no? And I think based off of Denise's facial expression and most other rational people, I don't think it really matters, Mike.
We have a caller.
Yes.
We have a caller on the Truth Talking text line, which is 833-212-1017. I think this is it Mandeville? Ben? Come
you
on,
are
brother.
correct.
Okay. Good morning, man. Thank you for tuning in to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. What is your question or comment?
Yes, my comment today is I don't know how long. I mean, in the next 10 years, is this going to be the same conversation? I don't know if y'all will still be broadcasters, wait for your pension. And it seems like nothing's going to change. How many sacrifices it's going to take for America to realize this is a serious crisis? Far as with laws, you know, racism and prejudice is in America's DNA. So it's kind of hard to weed that out. But it's like the laws was never made for the advantage of those of colors, our Asian brothers, our Mexican brothers, our Indian brothers, and then us. It was always made as a disadvantage to us. So, a law of now, as far as you fighting, using law with law, if it's dealing with a criminal civil matter, it's like you still at a disadvantage if you are non-white, like our non-white brothers and white brothers. So, being black, you got always face a challenge. You face a challenge when you sleep. You face a challenge when you get up. So, in my situation, I'm here in Milwaukee. I'm on extended supervision. I'm a single man, just so the ladies know. And here I'm at.
Hey, you get your moment, take it, man.
Yeah, I have went to truck school. I graduated from 160 Driving Academy. I have a CDLA license, and I have a federal medical card. So, yes, I'm federal and state required where I can drive any semi-truck in the United States. Now, I have a Caucasian female PO with craters on her face. very mean. She
now,
has.
Mike, you gonna have to wrap it up because we got about You got about 10 more seconds. I want to hear you, but you got to get to the point. 10 seconds.
Well, I'm just saying that we just got to keep pushing and not give up. It's not fair what took place. We, like you said, you mentioned, yes, if it was a Caucasian individual, we know the conclusion would be totally different. But it's just sad because the kids do need their mother. Very sad.
Yes. Yeah. No, thank you so much for that call, man. DeVille, appreciate you listening, appreciate your perspective. We've got a lot of, rightfully so, a lot of texts coming in. I want to go back to Mike from Mill Road. He says, talking about the charges, y'all, damn, LOL, it definitely matters, talking about was it self-defense or no. Well, first of all, I'm glad that you find this funny, Mike. Secondly, was there a valid reason why the charges were reduced like that? I read the statement from the state attorney, if you listen. And he said that although it was a terrible crime, that was his quote, terrible crime, they did not see it rightfully for her to be charged with murder. A lot of people died, family. We're looking at that case and why it's been assessed that way, but I get it. So, Mike, I'm just going to say this, because you have every right to feel the way that you do as an adult, and I have every right to feel that the same. But as Man had just shared, it's called equality. You have equity and then you have equality. And I'm trying to understand how you could even bring up self-defense when we know that if the tables were turned, Ajike Owens would have been locked in the jail with no bail whatsoever. And bond wouldn't even have been an option.
Right. And do you think they would be asking, well, was it self-defense or did this black woman just shoot this white woman? Like, come on, man.
That's another thing. Mike, again, I'm a professional communicator. I communicate CEOs all over the world. I never said that you were lessening anything. I'm saying that I'm trying to understand why you said LOL, that it was funny. LOL means laugh out loud. That's what I said first. And secondly, I'm asking you to look at it from the other perspective of if the tables were turned, would this have been the outcome? Because
that's all we were asking.
See, so Mike, what I need you to understand from me is, and it may not impact you. I don't know your race. I don't know your ethnicity. I don't know your nationality. I don't know your social and economic background. But I will say this. This is a constant slap in the face. Black people are reading news every day about lives being brutally killed. And then another demographic does the exact same thing, and it's a slap on the wrist. When you constantly read and see and consume that every day, it makes you feel as though you don't matter. That's what this is about, Mike. These 4 babies, 4 black babies who are already going to be in a country that they will have to deal with traumatic racism, now don't even have their mama. And the woman that murdered their mom, I guarantee you she's going to probably do maybe 5 years, maybe 6. What message does that send, Mike?
Yeah.
And again, it's not funny to me. It may be funny to you, but it ain't funny to me because I'm a black woman. And if somebody, I got you, Ben, let me just say this. If somebody kept calling my kids black slaves, Mike from Mill Road, day after day after day, calling my kids and myself the N-word, and I'm already dealing with being a black person in this country, and then I go knock on the door and I get shot in front of my babies, you'll have to pardon me if I don't see that humor. You have to pardon me if I don't respect the whole, well, was it in self-defense? But it's okay for her to call my kids the N-word and slaves. When we come back, we're going to end with
a really good thing. I know you got a little worked up there, Denise, but
where are my Tito's? I'm just playing.
But we are going to end on a positive note.
I should get worked up because I'm a mother and I have 2 kids, and that could have happened to me. It could have happened to you, Telly.
Oh, absolutely. And
there's no rationalizing this. I'm sick of every day seeing people who look like me being murdered, and then it's justifiable. How, Sway?
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Talking about lives.
But we are going to wrap up on a very, very positive note when we return. More Truth Be Told with DT and Telly after the break.
Truth Be Told with DT and Telly returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is your Axe Housing Home Buying Tip of the Week with D. Kemp.
The first thing I need everybody to do is get out of your own way. We are so good at talking ourselves out of our own blessings. If you are renting right now and you want to be a homeowner, know that you can do that and you're capable of it, and there are people and places that are going to support you in that effort. Get started by going to axhousing.org, completing the virtual orientation, and as soon as you're done, pick up the phone and say, I need an appointment with a home buyer coach because I am ready to be a homeowner. Not only do we have people who are going to provide you with that home buyer education, we have realtors. We have an acquisition fund that is purchasing homes at affordable prices so that there's housing inventory for you once you're ready to buy. Let's make this process as easy as possible for you because you have the people that you need on your team to make your dream of home ownership a reality.
On Diversity and Excellence powered by Erie Insurance, I am so excited to talk about the different ways that Erie Insurance can help with our community growth, can provide job opportunities from Erie Insurance Corporate, or with our local agency force. I'm really excited about the education of generational wealth in our Black and Brown communities and how we are a part of the communities here locally. There's so much more we can be a part of. Listen to me, Fred Johnson, on Diversity and Excellence, powered by Erie Insurance.
Attention families, Milwaukee Public Museum wants to remind you that Kohl's Thank You Thursdays are in full swing. Receive free access to MPM's permanent exhibits on the first Thursday of every month. Milwaukee Public Museum would like to thank Kohl's for their support in making this program possible. Visit MPM's website today for more information and to book your reservations. mpm.edu/KTYT. That's mpm.edu/KTYT.
On the Rocks Premium Cocktails offer modern twists on the classic cocktails. Developed by award-winning mixologists, the On the Rocks cocktails combine premium spirits and natural ingredients. Wherever you are, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails give you the convenience of bar-quality cocktails created with brands that you know and trust, like the Effin' Cosmopolitan and Hornitos Margarita. Pour over ice and enjoy. Please drink responsibly. On the Rocks ready-to-serve cocktails, 20 to 35% alcohol by volume.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get out and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by.
Whatever the Most High has for you, Truth Nation, no man can take away. Back in February, late February, early March, the Oscars broadcast, and as we all know, Angela Bassett was nominated for her well-deserved Oscar statuette. She is getting an honorary Oscar at the 2023 Governors Awards, and this is a very distinguished Oscar, which is only held by two other recipients.
Wow.
And this is voted by the Academy Board of Governors. So shout out to Madam Queen, Auntie Angela Bassett. We're going to come back tomorrow. Stay tuned for Sherwin Hughes. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Make it a great day. You deserve it. See you tomorrow.
Peace out.
Mama told me that if you play now, you're gonna suffer later. Figure she was talking.
This is two-time Emmy Award winner Telly Hughes, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to announce our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th at Riverside University High School